Hello there. I wanted to come on earlier, but it didn't work out like that for me. So here I am now. How was y'all day? Mine was all right. I was reading. I do a lot of reading on, and they say sometimes you gotta act because there was this little girl out here. They had no idea what was really going on with her. What a way to find your kid, something. And you go up in there, you find her hanging. It's like, wow. Commit suicide. Like, I think they need to leave that to the grown up shits. And when I say little kid, she was a little kid. She was like 11 years old. Like, how bad could it fucking possibly be at 11? But what the hell is going on at home? That she figured that's the way out. What up, Keisha? How you? What up, Janelle? My connection unstable. Now, why does that not surprise me? I need to talk to my other provider to see how can they improve my Wi-Fi. Because this Wi-Fi, I'm trying to blame the Wi-Fi, but it just might be the computer. Still haven't set up the new computer. I guess even though it's not mine, I'm gonna have to take it upon to set it up. But Keisha told me she went to my chair. Shit, we got the heat on in here. You won't open the fucking door like it's fucking 80 degrees outside and shit. If that was the case, we wouldn't have the heat on. And if you hot, why are you standing in the door still? Get the fuck outside. Oh wow, I just did it Kurt Franklin. But no, he wasn't even there. He closed the door and ran. But even then, we was talking about that earlier. And that's that man's business. Just because his son was a dick and broadcasted, right, it's cold here too. We got the heat on. Like, ain't no parent just gonna go off the chain and say some shit like that to their kid. That kid had to be up to something. They had to tell them something. Ain't no parent just gonna go off and I'll break my foot off in your ass if you don't. No. He had to do something. What's up, Tosh? He had to say or do something. And then, even then, that's between that man and his child. Just because his child, but if you want my input, he should have been bombed so he could have broke that foot off in his ass or choked the shit out of him. What up, Tommy, Miss Boosie? Because that's his child. But he's not a child. Boy, 9, 10 years old. And I still know from personal experience. Like earlier. I don't know. When a child, I don't give a care how old they are. I think that's my computer. I don't think it's mental. Well, but like I say, especially a father and his son family. Did you? What up, Barbara? How you feeling? I'm good, and you? Y'all see how this weather done changed on us? I went out earlier this week, and it was somewhat. Well, I had my thermal on. Hey, Ricky. Right. People are human, but not only that though. Let's see if I can get a few dollars. Accountability. Look, I've raised you. I've raised you. You're a grown man. Ain't no such. What accountability is there? If you calling me, that means you don't live with me. So at that point, he's supposed to take accountability for his own self. Uh, no reason for a father, a parent, to go off like that on a child that's accountable for themselves. Now, I could see if his child was severely autistic or his child and has other developmental problems. But if this boy was so slick as to record the conversation and then put it out there to get brownie points, he's competent enough mentally to get whatever come at you. You won't kick that accountability. He ain't have no, yes, verbal abuse is real, but he called him. We don't even know what the whole conversation was. See, and that's the thing. Everybody going off and mad. He didn't even play the whole conversation. Yeah, it does. You scarred child in it, Janelle. And No, he's not ashamed, embarrassed. But my thing is this: everybody's situation ain't your situation. Right. He didn't have no business bringing that to social media. None at all. But hey, how you think you get brownie points and make people feel sorry for you? You only give them half of a conversation. And then you bring something that ain't nobody's business to the spotlight. And and you're a grown man. Who cares if he cursing you out? I don't. I'm not on no PR apology tour. Yeah, I feel well. To Janelle. Okay, Janelle, I I would apologize too. And it's not about because I cussed my son out. I would apologize because he put our personal business out there and it wasn't none of your business. And he didn't have the sense to mind his own. Oh no, I ain't on no apology tour. And I would apologize because this is not the light this man wants us to see us to see him in. And see, I don't know nothing about it. All I know is he cussed his son out. Right, right. You human. And that's what people forget when they put people on pedestals. He's a person, flesh and blood, just like you. And but what pedestal is there to put him on? Like Kirk Franklin and already came out there and have done some. Regardless, there's just some things that you have to do in order to be successful in what you do. Uh, let's be real. Even if he wasn't a religious figure, who you think? Let me think. Let me think. Remember a few years ago, old boy beat his son with a switch, and it was big news. I feel like this: as if as long as you're not hitting him, well, he did hit the boy in the back like he was back on Roots and shit. Because you're not giving him a good old blow to the jaw or the stomach or to the head or to the back. That's not your business. It's not your business how people choose to discipline their children. Mental home in a, yeah, maybe. That's bullshit. Oh, thank you, baby, for cursing me out. Now go in your room and play your fucking DS. You know, y'all saying that and whatnot. Are you Catholic? Do you know about the saints? You know, Catholic, Episcopalian, Presbyterian, not Presbyterian. Yeah, Presbyterian, Pentecostal, all those people who see, that's the problem with kids. Yeah, I gave you life. I'm gonna talk to you how the fuck I want to. You don't like it. You know the solution, right? You get the fuck. Get the fuck. You don't like how I'm talking to you? Get the fuck. Straight up like that. I don't give a fuck how old they are. Go find you somebody else to stay with them, motherfucker. And they that's fucking biting people. And they bite the people, you be like, oh, don't do that. Are you okay? Don't. That's just fucking crazy. And you ain't got to be ghetto or ratchet to know cuss words. You watch TV. If shit bad to you like that, and you won't be adult like that, talk to your parent and tell them the truth, and pack your bags before you talk to them, and get the fuck. You think you so grown like that in their space? Get the fuck. Go by your mama. Go by wherever. But know when you leave out this motherfucker, don't be looking to come back in this fucked up. Right, Miss Boosie, and that's how it is. You feel like life is unfair and unjust? Go your ass in your 12-year-old room, pack your bags, and get the fuck. The state will always take care of you till you 18. Always a threat of what? See? And if it's always a threat, obviously they're not following through. Fuck, y'all children don't understand the shit that parents go through to make shit possible for them. Children just won't be children. And you can't just be children, especially black children. There's so much more shit going on in America for black children than any other race. Black children can't just, and it is not because of parents and how they raise them, it's society. Oh, you can't follow rules and I provide everything for you? Get the fuck. Straight up. Look at that shit you got in your room. Right. We didn't really have enough money last week to buy groceries, and you ate my meal like that in fucking Kurt's fucking household. But still in all, he provided that child with everything he needed. Provide an answer. Sometimes children need to know to stay in their place as well. And that's what need to stay in their place as well. And I don't want to hear that. See, there you go. Children need to stay in their place. Yes, they fucking do. Place. I don't give a fuck how old they are. If they're still living with their parents, bitch, give them the respect they're supposed to have. Because you know what? 18, they have no more legals having to take care of you. Show them the respect they deserve. Because they don't have to keep you there. Oh, wait. I left at this age. Kudos. Kudos to you. When you won't be disrespected, you should leave. Right, Miss Brucey. They're illegal. Right. But your parents ain't gonna ever answer every question that you ever ask them. Then you know, at some point when you keep asking the question and you never get an answer, now you picking. And nobody don't want to put up with that shit. Nobody have to put up with that shit. No, it's not that I was too scared to ask my mama questions, but I'm not stupid. Maybe it's not that they don't know, they just don't want to answer you. Man, I'm telling you, how the hell we go from this all the way to here? But you know, they have kids who always sit there and want and like to play victim this, victim that. We never that. And it's amazing how the same siblings you grew up with can tell you that's all a lie. Or they could say, maybe not you, but we did. That's like, bitch, stop lying. And she was like, no, my right hand of God, your brother told me this. And I was like, but that never happened. He told Keisha that even after they were holy, so that my parents could buy my sister and I shoes. And he's a liar. Oh, if he didn't tell you that around me, he's a liar. Because my parents provided quite well for us. Everybody have those type of family members, Janelle. Um, when I say quite well, we all three went to private school until we went to high school. We were all in private school. Every year, we got our uniforms, our saddle Oxfords, and he got his I guess he got hush puppies or loafers or something. And we all got a pair of tennis shoes every year. Want to provide the kind that I wanted. But that didn't matter to me because I was buying my own tennis shoes by then. My brother sit there and he plays this role and shit. But by the time that he was talking about with Keisha, my brother was in high school. He had a pair of Pumas. I remember the year she talked about, but that was by choice. See, what he didn't tell her was he walked around with them holy shoes, but he also got a $200 motherfucking trench coat. He didn't tell her that too. And even though my parents provided, a $200 trench coat was pretty fucking deep for my family. Tennis to get that trench coat. That's what you wouldn't say, though. But the thing about it, at that time, he started wearing fucking loafers, real loafers again. He was holy because he was not wearing them. But see, liars like to tell part of the story, or people that like to start shit only like to tell part of the story. Yes, every story has every story has more than 3 sides. I know people like to tell your side, my side, and the truth. But there's actually more sides to it than that. Because a lot of stories start off way before y'all get involved. Like when people want to start shit, they already plotting and thinking in their head, how can they do it? So a story really has more than 3 sides. Right. And he used to like you know them loafers they used to have, there was brown suede with the tassels and the red like so. He would get some of them. Or he would get regular popular. That's what he was wearing. And unlike us, his penny loafers didn't come from Payless. His penny loafers would come from J.C. Penney's. And see, that shit is just amazing. Like my brother played victim, and I guess that's his reason of why he did the shit to me and my sister that he did. But no word of lie. I think they provided too much for him because that made him feel like he was killed. He damn sure felt that way about my daddy. My mama, and toward the end, my mama couldn't have no real good life because of my brother. Which means if she would have put him out or made him live with them, they would have seen just how he felt about them. And what I mean by that is to some job in New Jersey. So, you know, they provided housing, they provided transportation, and Oh, wow. So his senior year, after he graduated high school, he was it even his senior year? No, it was his junior year. No, it was his freshman year in college. They offered him a job, those benefits. The reason I remember is because my senior year, and my uncle was staying with us, and he taught him how to drive. So my uncle teaches him how to drive. No, they gave him that apartment before then. No, they did they? I appreciated it. And that's how I know he's full of crap. They also allowed us to make our own decisions as far as our education went, because they said in the long run it was our decision in the public school system. I didn't have to, but they told me after I would have to get a scholarship, and I would have to maintain that scholarship. And the school that I wanted to go to, I know me, and I couldn't do that. What I mean is not as far as maintaining the grades, but it's the part of the ways that they wanted you to financially maintain your scholarship. Like my parents would have had to pay a little percentage, but the scholarship would have provided a majority of it. And every day after school, I had to clean up, and I also had to come every other weekend to help maintain the grounds. And I felt that was too much of making me a roots. I felt like that was too much of back to slavery shit for me. Because the school was, and it was in an expensive area of the city. And once I looked at all that paperwork and the grades they wanted me to maintain to keep the scholarship, and they wanted me to be their groundskeeper, basically, I just said this school was not for me. Do I wish I would have went? No, still don't. But I know it would have opened a hell of a lot of opportunities to me if I did though. But I've never been social like that. Like when I would go to school, I was just going to school to do my work, get my work, and go home. That changed though as I got older. And I could not see rubbing elbows with little bros that was driving BMWs and Mercedes and Range Rovers to school. And I would be catching the bus. Like we from two whole different worlds. I'm more than sure you people will want to save me and change my world. But well, mean as I was and my attitude, yeah, they would have wanted to be my friend. But like my brother was already thrust into that world, and I didn't like the way it was going for him. Which he liked it, he enjoyed it because he learned all the kind moves he could from them. Yes, I said it. Uh, Once he realized what he could learn from them as far as conning and shit goes, he was in heaven. But I was not that type of person. I've never been a con artist type person. I've always been as it is what it is. But that all kind of somewhat changed when I got to be 11, 12-ish. But at that point, I only picked one road dog. I only had one road. And that bitch was a bad example. Even though she's a school teacher and all that shit now, regional, what that broad is. Let's just put it this way, with every day after school. And but she went to a black Catholic school. Well, a half. A black all-girls school. And then at that point, I didn't think I wanted to go to no all-girls school, no way. But so I chose, so when it came for me to pick my school, it was either I'm gonna go to the local school. That was no option for me. Grew up bougie and you this, that, and the other. I grew up in a really rough neighborhood. I really did. And all I could say is thank I couldn't go to the corner store without getting robbed. It wasn't rough like that. But I didn't do sports because I felt like my elementary school, so to speak, didn't offer sports. But when I got into high school, I didn't do sports because I've always been short. I wasn't no cheerleader type motherfucker. Um, I wasn't about to be no crab shit to me. And that's why like I remember one year what they did the crabs in the band. They took all their drumsticks and they made them beat with leaves. And the music better still sound the same. Nah, I'm good. Okay, back to picking schools. Keisha always, oh, you live in a good neighborhood, this, that, and other. It wasn't the projects, but it wasn't smooth like peanut butter either. And my district schools was Walter L. Cohen or Booker T. Washington. I was like, I ain't cut for that. Because for one, I'm going on day turf. I'm not cut for that. I probably could go there and be one of the top 2 students. But at that point, I'm not cut for that. You know, all y'all been going coming here, which means I know for sure I'm gonna be an outside motherfucker because I'm just getting into the public school system. So I was like, I know I ain't cut for that one. So my brother, they wanted me to go to his school. My brother went to the #1 public school in the city. I looked at number 2. Number 2 was more like a United Nations. So I went to number 2. There was like, you only have about the test. There's like, no, you have a C average. We're not even interested in giving you the test. I was like, fuck y'all, I ain't want all black in the #1 black school in the city. And so I went there and I took their test and I still scored in the 98th percentile. So, you know, they immediately gave me an application. And so I filled it out, and that's where I was going the next year. Which, what the #2 school in the city didn't realize was my grade, y'all. I don't want to go to y'all school. And so I ended up going to McDonough 35. I had a wonderful high school year. It was nice. And when it came down to college, even though when I was working, I was saving money for college. No word of lie. I saved money for college. I saved something like $2,500 for college. Was enough for me to go 2 years. And I went for 1 semester. And I was like, look here, I ain't cut for this shit. Like, looking at all these big ass books, constantly having to listen to these boring ass professors. Then I'm working too. I'm constantly falling asleep. If you're gonna go to college and if you don't have to work, don't. Because it's too much of a distraction from your education. But then again, I had something like 15 hours due. I didn't have like the 12 hours. I guess I was trying to get the shit out the way. And then after I would go to school, I would go to work, then I would come home and fall asleep reading them thick ass books and writing these papers and shit. I kid you not, when I was my English class and all that shit pissed me off. Because even though when I left high school, I had a B average, I was in so many remedial classes. I was like, fuck. And then I got to do all these remedial classes to get to the fucking regular class. Like, they just fucking shoveling shit on top of me, bitches. And I just started working full time. Yeah, but it's because I educated myself. Yeah, foundation after that. But work, school, party, it's just not gonna work. And that was me. I'm not gonna say I partied every day, but getting fucked up. Because I taught myself. Even though I'm not in college and whatever and whatnot, I'll still read those books if something in it that I want to learn. That's like I always tell people. Like I was telling my sister the other day, you know, I got to thank my children, because if it wouldn't have been for them, I would have never read. And there was a couple of Frederick Douglass. I read that one because right. And I was mad and I had an attitude because my mama was a pioneer. She was a hustler. But what I mean by pioneer is that when she was raising us and we were little kids, we never kids. I was telling Keisha, every now and then an old memory sneaks in. History is my favorite too. Every now and then, little child. And Keisha was like, wow. Because of people like my grandma and my daddy. And it'd be just me and my sister. Sometimes my girls out and, you know, and he would take us to Baskin Robbins. He'll take us to snowball stands and shit like that. Or we would just go by my uncle. Now let me tell you about going by my uncle. We loved going by my uncle because when we go by my uncle, hey, my nieces, okay, and he'll give us a tour of the kitchen, pretty much. He'll be like, y'all want something? Look, it's in the kitchen. And he'll bring us to the cabinet. Look here. They got this here. They got this in the refrigerator. They got cold drinks in there. Now, if y'all want something, just get up and get it. And me and your daddy go and talk in my room. Huh? Well, you know what a child gonna do soon as the adults away. They about to go digging. We going, they always will have about 2 boxes of them. And they had the raisin cream cakes, they have chips in there, they will have some more like pies, oatmeal pies and stuff like that. And then they had grapes and all that in the refrigerator and the little juices. But who really wants grapes when you got all this junk? Oh, thank y'all. And I'm telling you, they want to know after about 5 minutes and they still in there. And at that time, our homework was only like 1 sheet of paper. Man, by the time we finished that homework, we looking at each other. But my mama didn't like to give us junk food. You know what my mama would give us for a snack? If we wanted a snack when we was little? Fucking protein balls. And growing up. And I think that's why we have such a diverse palate and willing to try anything. Because as far as junk food, no, she didn't give us that. And that's why I be sitting there and my brother be talking that shit, you know, up until we were like I'm just gonna ignore that. Up until we were a certain age, we always had a legitimate babysitter. Oh yeah, I like a good peanut butter jelly too. See, now my mama would give us peanut butter. We had jelly, but when she'll make the sandwiches, she'll be like, peanut, eat protein balls from Amway. My mama used to have a whole stack of them. They had all kind. They had the chocolate peanut butter. They had the chocolate and something else. And my favorite was the chocolate peanut butter. And if she couldn't cook for us for breakfast, that was breakfast. I guess she was fighting a losing battle, chiwis and stuff like that. Uh, my daddy brought me and my sister to Baskin Robbins a lot. Oh, any, but my favorite ice cream shop when I was younger was Bricado's. If you're not from New Orleans, if you don't like ice cream, you don't know nothing about Bricado's. And Bricado's was an Italian ice cream maker in New Orleans. And it was like basically around the corner from my grandma's house till they moved out the neighborhood. And I used to like not the vanilla, the lemon. But I remember spending a few allowance monies over there. And thanks for stopping by. Oh, well, you saying that. But you know what? I think it's going to be good night, point blank, y'all. I'm coming up on an hour, and I have to be up for 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's 1 o'clock now. So, give me maybe 6 hours of sleep because I never go directly to sleep unless I'm drinking after I get off these lives. Maybe I should do a little sip, a little tidy while I'm that, because that's the only way I go straight to sleep. Um, I guess maybe 5 more, right? And yeah, my mama wouldn't do processed. Only reason my mama stopped buying, so she would buy cans to please him. But we ate a lot of frozen vegetables. Like I still cannot stand a frozen pea. I don't care. I don't care how you chop it up. I do not like a frozen pea. And but every other vegetable, I hit it up. But I did not like Brussels sprouts growing up. I did not. It took me to be an adult, and it wasn't even my cooking that made me like them. It was a friend of ours. What up, 951? And we reconnected with some of our New Orleans friends, and we lived in the same apartment complex. Wednesday night used to be our date night. Date night. We would meet up with them out there by our apartment. It became our apartment soon though, because that's when date night solely became at our apartment. And then we were the type of people, we didn't care what the children were doing. What I mean by that is our children make a lot of noise by themselves. So you throw in 2, 3 more of them, we don't care about that noise. Long as nobody crying, we good. So they would go in their room and watch TV or play the game or this, that. We would feed the children, and we'll just sit around and sip drinks till they finish eating. And once they finish eating, we send them to the room to play. And we would then fix our plates and whatnot and watch TV and eat. Well, and we had she did fried pork chops, Brussels sprouts. I don't remember what the side was. I think it was rice-a-roni maybe. Rice-a-roni, macaroni, I don't know. But I remember them Brussels sprouts. And I was like, I never liked Brussels sprouts before. She was like, but we ate them at your house. I said, yeah, but did you see me really eating them? I was like, it's like, I don't care how much I cook them, they just don't get to be how I want them or something. And she said, let me tell you, what you do is when you're cooking them, you put salt and pepper in the water. Make sure you got your salt in there. She said, and you boil them and then just cook them in the butter. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try that. And it took me a lot of trial and error because I could never get my Brussels sprouts like hers. But I still, did what I could do. I just had to break out on my own because the best way I like to eat Brussels sprouts is with onions and bacon. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Be blessed. Stay safe. Do what you got to do for you and your. Enjoy each other. Love on each other. And have a good week, y'all. Peace and hair grease. Later.